Good afternoon. This is from Radio Main News. The headlines. CSPR proposes an increased allocation of funds towards agriculture extension. Nkanda Member of Parliament call of the citizens to hold government accountable of fuel pump price. Gaza kitchens warn food will run out in days after 2 months of Israeli blockade. This bulletin is also live on our Facebook and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. The Civil Society for Poverty Reduction has noted that despite the agriculture sector employing over 50% of the citizens, the sector continues to suffer from low productivity levels, which is significantly below potential. Speaking during the CSPR 2026 tax and non-tax budget proposal submission, Organization Executive Director Isabel Mukelevai says the agriculture sector contributes only about 3.4% to GDP and operates at just 20% of the potential due to inefficient policies, climate change, and limited access to credit. Mrs. Mukelevai therefore says that to address these issues, the organization proposes an increased allocation of funds to agriculture extension services with a specific focus on the recruitment, training, and retraining of extension officers. She says this strategic approach will empower farmers with the requisite knowledge and skills needed to adopt modern agricultural techniques effectively.
The story of smallholder farmers has been told for many years. There have been a lot of reforms to the agriculture sector policies. Now we are dealing with the CATSIP. We have the farmer input support programs, a different complement of policies. However, realizing the dividends of all these policy measures in truly positioning the smallholder farmer to become more productive, to make a stronger contribution, has been hampered by the fact that their production is highly dependent on rain-fed activities.
Yesterday, Chilanga Town Council joined the rest of the nation in commemorating the 2025 Labor Day at a colorful event held at Parkland Secondary School, where Chilanga Town Council chairperson, Mr. Champion Tembo, praised the New Dawn government for placing the Zambian worker at the center of national development through initiatives such as the Increased Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The event was graced by the acting Chilanga District Commissioner, Mrs. Maureen Chilende, who commended the resilience and commitment of workers in the district. She acknowledged their critical role in fostering development despite the adverse effects of last year's drought. Chilanga Town Council Secretary Mr. Francis Ndola also addressed attendees, highlighting the relevance of this year's theme, shaping Zambia's future through homegrown solutions for inclusive economic growth. A total of 19 employees from Chilanga Town Council were recognized and awarded in various categories for their dedication and exemplary service. President Hakainde Hichilema has noted government's commitment to advancing development across all 10 provinces, stating that it remains unwavering. The head of state called on the traditional leaders to join forces with the government in driving progress, highlighting the critical role of responsible resource management and utilization for the greater good of the nation. In remarks on his official Facebook page, the president highlights that on sidelines of the Labor Day celebrations, he held an engagement meeting with their Royal Highnesses from Luapula province to deliberate on the province's developmental priorities and the well-being of the people. President Hichilema added that government remains particularly concerned about certain members of parliament who are undermining the effective implementation of the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). The head of state also noted and urged the traditional leaders to support the efforts to foster national unity and uphold the One Zambia, One Nation vision. Nkana Member of Parliament Bino Mpundu has urged Zambians to wake up and start holding the government accountable for its actions, unfortunately, which are hurting the citizens. Mr. Mpundu's comment follows the recent fuel price reduction, which he describes as a mockery, considering the challenges of monopoly selfish leadership decisions and the economic toll of fuel policy failures. He says the time for accountability is now, and Zambians must start demanding for accountability and avoid being easily fooled by alleged selfish decisions of adjusting fuel by 2 kwacha 85 ngwe instead of restoring the price to where it should be now that the criminal activity around the pricing of fuel has been uncovered. Mr. Mpundu, who also belongs to the Movement for Good Governance, further calls for urgent action to dismantle monopolies, restore institutional oversight, and put the needs of Zambian families and businesses at the center of the fuel policy. He has further noted that the recent episode involving agrofuels' exclusive access to the Tazama pipeline is a textbook example of how monopolistic arrangements and opaque decisions making can have dire economic consequences. And in other news trending this afternoon, Plumbers Association of Zambia President Moses Chongo has emphasized the importance of involving professional plumbers in a wide range of construction projects. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has underscored the importance of removing street children from the streets while providing them with consistent moral and spiritual counseling. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The president of the Commuter Rights Association of Zambia, CRAZ, Aaron Kamuti, has called on public transport operators to pass on the benefits of the recent reduction in fuel pump prices to passengers by adjusting fares downward. Mr. Kamuti has emphasized that the decrease in fuel prices should not only ease the financial burden on transport providers, but also translate into tangible relief for ordinary commuters, many of whom rely heavily on public transport for their daily activities. He has noted that with fuel being a major component of operational costs, a reduction in its price presents a justifiable opportunity to lower fares and make transportation more affordable. He has further encouraged the government to continue engaging with stakeholders in the transport sector to promote fairness and transparency, especially during times of economic adjustment.
We've seen the reduction in the pump fuel price. What we anticipate is the operators to act accordingly. Both diesel have been reduced, and the percentage, if you look at the percentage, that's I think someone should appreciate. First, we want to go straight to appreciate the government through ERB for the stance taken on diesel. We know most of these vessels, they use diesel. So meaning the operators should be smiling by now. And we need that to trickle down to a common man who is a passenger so that also we smile. If there's a slight reduction on bus fares, I think this is a good thing. And we want to see more of these reductions in petrol and diesel by governments through the pump fuel prices. I think this will be a good thing so that transport can come down.
Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, a hot meal is hard to come by in the Gaza Strip, but a lunch for needy families in the south is about to be delivered by donkey and cart. Today's dish is koshari, made with lentils, rice, and a zesty tomato sauce in a set of huge cooking pots in one of two community kitchens run by American Near East Refugees Aid and NERA, a US-based humanitarian organization. And in sports news, Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou says it is too early to assess Lucas Bergvall's ankle injury after revealing that the Sweden midfielder tweaked his right ankle in training on Wednesday. The 19-year-old summer signing, who extended his contract to 2031 on Wednesday, attended Thursday night's Europa League quarterfinal and was pictured at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, walking with crutches and a protective boot on his right foot. His injury was not mentioned in Wednesday's pre-match news conference, but Postecoglou gave a caution update after Spurs' 3-1 win against Bodo Glimt. And now the weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Northwestern Copperbelt, Western, Southern Lusaka, and Central provinces partly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm to hot. Maximum temperature is ranging between 26 degrees and 33 degrees Celsius. The evening will be partly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm to mild. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news part. Before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The Civil Society for Poverty Reduction has noted that despite the agriculture sector employing over 50% of the citizens, this sector continues to suffer from low productivity levels, which is significantly below potential. Nkana Member of Parliament Bino Mpundu has urged Zambians to wake up and start holding the government accountable for its actions and inactions, which actions and inactions unfortunately are hurting the citizens. And finally, a hot meal is hard to come by in the Gaza Strip, but a lunch for needy families in the south is about to be delivered by donkey and cart. For more news, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Hot World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.